Episode 39, Beyond PI, Urgency and Proximity, we explore how the when of a risk matters as much as the what. Traditional probability impact matrices provide a useful foundation, but they freeze time. They tell us how severe and how likely, yet ignore how soon. Timing changes priority drastically. Two risks with identical scores may require completely different responses if one looms next quarter and the other sits years away. By incorporating urgency, proximity, and related temporal factors, risk leaders transform static rankings into dynamic foresight, adjusting pace and focus to the real rhythm of unfolding uncertainty. Proximity defines when a risk could occur. It describes the expected time between now and the moment of potential realization. A project may face an equipment failure risk in the next week, while regulatory changes might lie a year ahead. Categorizing proximity into defined windows, imminent, near-term, medium, and distant, gives analysts and planners a temporal map of exposure. It allows leadership to distinguish between threats that can wait for monitoring and those demanding immediate preparation. Proximity reframes risk from concept to countdown, reminding teams that timing itself is a dimension of vulnerability. Urgency complements proximity by asking how quickly the organization must act once the trigger appears. Some risks allow days of reaction, others require minutes. Urgency measures response time, not occurrence time. A cyber incident, for example, might have moderate proximity but extreme urgency. The window for containment could close within hours. Explicit urgency ratings help teams decide which plans need pre-approved actions, standing authority, or automated controls. Together, proximity and urgency guide not only what to manage, but also how fast and in what sequence to mobilize response. Detectability and controllability add nuance as timing modifiers. Detectability measures how soon warning signs can be noticed before impact. Controllability gauges how much influence the team has once detection occurs. High detectability and strong control reduce urgency because reaction time exists. Low detectability or limited control, however, compresses the timeline dramatically. These modifiers convert qualitative timing into operational realism. By scoring detectability and controllability alongside proximity and urgency, organizations capture how visibility and capability shape temporal risk posture. Awareness without control and control without awareness are both forms of fragility. Early warning indicators translate these timing dimensions into practice. Indicators tied to triggers, such as lead time metrics, environmental sensors, or policy alerts, provide measurable signals that a risk is approaching. For example, rising defect rates may warn of upcoming production failure, while pending legislation indicates regulatory change on the horizon. Designing indicator sets for high urgency or short proximity risks ensures that response can occur before escalation. Each indicator becomes a clock hand on the organization's dashboard, showing how far uncertainty has advanced toward realization. Timely detection transforms reaction into anticipation. Short horizon risks demand faster review cycles and tighter control rhythms. When events could unfold within weeks, monthly or quarterly monitoring is too slow. Daily stand-ups, continuous metrics, or automated alerts become essential. Fast-moving risks benefit from streamlined governance, pre-approved thresholds for action, and minimal bureaucratic friction. The objective is agility without chaos. Frequency of review should mirror the pace of change. Proximity defines cadence. For short-horizon exposure, vigilance must live in the bloodstream of daily operations, not in occasional meetings or annual audits. Long-horizon risks, by contrast, need structured watch lists rather than constant monitoring. These items evolve slowly but can accumulate significance over time. Environmental shifts, demographic trends, or emerging technologies often sit in this category. A watch list keeps them visible without consuming operational energy. Periodic scanning, quarterly or semi-annual, ensures early recognition of acceleration. Long-horizon management values patience and perspective, not overreacting to faint signals, yet remaining alert to trend convergence. By maintaining watch lists, organizations avoid being blindsided when slow currents suddenly become surges. Visual cues help communicate timing without distorting perception. Traditional heat maps compress multidimensional information into color gradients that often exaggerate or hide timing effects. Instead, add simple icons or timeline overlays to show proximity and urgency. For example, a risk matrix could include clock symbols for timeframes or arrow thickness to represent velocity. The goal is intuitive understanding without visual clutter. Good visuals respect data hierarchy. Time modifiers enhance context rather than dominate it. When stakeholders can see timing clearly, prioritization debates become faster and more factual. Re-ranking risks through timing lenses reveals where energy truly belongs. Start with standard probability impact results, then adjust ranking using urgency and proximity modifiers. A distant high-impact item may drop below an imminent moderate one because response window differs. This re-ranking exercise transforms analysis into scheduling. It aligns attention with time sensitivity. The revised order provides leadership with a dynamic cue. What needs action now, what requires preparation soon, and what can remain under observation. Prioritization becomes a living process, tuned continuously to the clock of reality. Sequencing responses according to readiness windows prevents overload and missed opportunities. Each risk's timeframe defines when controls must be operational. For example, supply chain diversification may take months, while patching software vulnerabilities takes hours. Planning by readiness ensures mitigation resources appear, not after need. This sequencing avoids the trap of simultaneous urgencies overwhelming teams. By aligning response implementation with proximity, organizations create a rhythm of preparedness, where each mitigation activates just in time to meet its risk's likely moment of emergence. Communicating timing insights to resource planners integrates risk management with operational scheduling. When planners know which risks mature soonest, they can allocate budget, staff, and contingency earlier. Timing data also informs procurement, logistics, and training calendars. Proximity becomes a planning variable, not merely an analytic curiosity. This coordination reduces firefighting and fosters proactive readiness. Risk timing communication turns the analysis output into a management input, a feedback loop between foresight and execution that prevents good insights from dying in spreadsheets. After major changes, scope shifts, reorganizations, or environmental shocks, revisit proximity assessments. Timing assumptions age quickly. A supplier acquisition, new regulation, or macroeconomic swing can collapse or extend risk horizons overnight. Regularly refreshing proximity fields ensures that dashboards reflect current reality, not outdated estimates. Even modest recalibration, done quarterly, can prevent stale data from misleading leadership. Risk management loses credibility when the clock it follows no longer matches the world's pace. Updating proximity after change keeps analysis synchronized with lived conditions. Capturing learning on indicator reliability closes the feedback loop. Every time an early warning signal succeeds or fails, record the outcome. Did the indicator fire on time? Was it too sensitive or too slow? Over months, these records refine understanding of which metrics truly forecast events and which distract. This empirical calibration improves both efficiency and trust in monitoring systems. Lessons on indicator reliability evolve the organization's temporal intelligence, the ability to perceive and respond to change accurately over time. Time-aware prioritization improves outcomes because it aligns attention with reality's tempo. Risks exist not only in magnitude, but in motion. Incorporating urgency, proximity, detectability, and controllability transforms static analysis into operational rhythm. Organizations that see timing clearly act sooner, spend smarter, and recover faster. Beyond probability and impact lies the living dimension of time, the heartbeat of foresight. When teams manage that heartbeat consciously, risk management ceases to be a snapshot and becomes what it was always meant to be: continuous awareness in motion. Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit DailyCyber.News.